Guys, I'm Kim. Today I'm at my sister and brother-in-law's house and I wanted to tour their garden and show you different ideas for raised beds if you're going to go that route. I know a lot of you might be growing in the ground. That was difficult for me. I actually tried it last year. We did the back to eating garden style and I wasn't patient enough. I planted too soon. The wood chips sucked all the nitrogen out, plus my soil I don't think was quite right either, so I was only successful in growing potatoes. But I did learn that I did not like growing in the ground because my back hurt. It was a lot more work, and so we have just the standard traditional wooden box 4x8 beds at my house. But I do want to tour their garden. They have a lot more ideas to think about. But first, I want to talk about this hyperinflation. Like, guys, I went to the grocery store yesterday and I had an idea how much I wanted to spend. Got to the checkout and it was a little more than that. So everything I bought was about $1.50, $2 more than originally. I bought sweet potatoes, organic sweet potatoes. I mean, I'm going to sacrifice like 5 of those possibly to grow on in my garden. And anyway, they were like $30, $35. Crazy. I bought like 15, I think. Anyway, that is astronomical pricing. Insane. But I did learn also that sweet potatoes are perennial, so you don't really ever have to take them out of your bed. So put them somewhere they can just grow on forever and always be there for you when you want them. Now it's so important, I think, for us to be gardening in our own homes. Well, maybe not in our home, but you know, at our homes, to save money, one, cut the cost, self-sufficiency, and just to have better nutrition. Like, I grow my food because I want to eat better. I want to eat the whole foods without the pesticides, without hormones, without all of that stuff that is not good for our systems, right? Our bodies. We don't want to eat the poison. So without further ado, let's go check out this garden. And I want to point out some cool raised beds that they have made out of what they have. You don't have to go buy, excuse me, bugs, they're getting me. You don't have to go buy wood or any other materials to make a raised bed. Use what you have laying around your house. Now, we didn't have anything, so that's why we built ours and bought wood. And I love our beds, but there's some really cool ideas in here. These are metal buckets, some wooden boxes. They don't have to be all the same size. And then she has some, it looks like, is that a railroad tie? I'm not really sure. This is really cool because, I mean, really, they're just utilizing what they have on their property and making the raised beds. It's just better on your back, easier, and you control the soil, so you know what's in your soil, you can add to it. I just like it a lot better. That's just me, my opinion. This one, they're using wire to hold in some dirt. I mean, you got to get creative, folks, if you want to grow your own food. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. It's the food that you need, right? Some strawberries and another one of these. Very cool. Old gates to make trellises with. Works. And then here they have some bricks and they're growing some onions in this. This is like the wonderful grass. Like, your bunnies, if you have bunnies, are going to love this grass. Ours are mowing our grass like this down as we speak. So, bricks. You can put it in a circle, you can put it in a square, you can put it anywhere. It's great. Here they took some siding off of a barn that they're redoing. These are little fence pickets actually. Fence pickets, get those. Siding off a barn if you have one that you're not going to use anymore. Just refurbished anything can upcycle and make beds to grow organic produce. Now, when my sister and brother-in-law moved up to this house, I don't know what this is, all grass. Not really sure, I don't want to mess it up. But they had these bricks here. And so I actually helped on this project. We set this up last summer. She had all these bricks. And we just set it up to make one long raised bed. She doesn't have anything growing in here right now. But, I mean, just think of the options that you can do. What do you have laying around your house to be able to grow your own food and get that nourishment? So this actually used to be in our backyard. We gave this to them because we were switching gears. So they're utilizing this with, I can't remember what she told me that was, but I know those are chives. But they have, carrots, chives, radishes, and some other cool little things popping up through the soil. And look how cool this one is. I love it. It looks like it has wings, but it'd be cool because you can put your little pots right there or anything you're fixing to plant. Set it right there and then plant it up. She's got rutabagas in that. Some more siding. And look at this. One of the #1 ways you can grow more produce is vertical. Look at all these verticals. Just cow panels. They're not that expensive right now. And if you can't do that, go get some sticks. And you can make your own arch. Or you can make some tripods, right? So these are some cool raised beds. Come on, this way. So it looks like they're doing a bunch of squash right here that will be able to climb and crawl. And some snow peas are going to climb up here, and it's just easy picking that way as well. Another one of these ledges, love those. It's really a neat idea. My nephew actually built these, and just a great idea. I love it. What are these? Pink radishes. All right. And then this is really cool. Like, look at this. It's a perfect corner option. What do we have in here? I can't read it. And I don't know, point at that. Riley, I have no idea what this is. I think these are peppers. I think they're peppers, okay? So all these peppers, and then you have right here. And what would be cool too is if they decided not to do peppers, you could do flowers right here, miracles or something, just to pretty it up and help with bugs. They have another trellis system here, or arch. I just love these because the idea when it like fills in, it's gonna be so magical and things hanging down. It's gonna be cool. So they have some butternut squash here, some more peas. I think my sister-in-law said these are gonna be gourds, which that's gonna be fun. And then over here we have cucumbers. But let's go over here. Oh, I didn't even mention they have like a little lattice here using pallets that things can climb up if they want it. Or you could use that kind of like a shade thing. If something needs more shade and you're trying to underplant, just stick up a pallet and that will create a wall as well. Then look at these. These things are long. What? Ooh, potatoes. Okay, they're growing potatoes here. Look at all these. Dirt is something you want to keep in mind when you go to make a raised bed, or even if you're going to grow in the ground. You want to make sure your pH level is a good level. Too acidic or too alkaline is not really great for growing vegetables that much. Was one of our main mistakes in our Back to Eden garden. Was the soil. The soil was not great. So for our raised beds that we did start in November, we brought in topsoil. We had a whole dump truck full of topsoil brought in to fill those raised beds, and we just did fill the 18 beds that we do have. Also, I topped mine off for this spring planting with some cow manure. Any kind of manure is good. Of course, chicken manure, you can't put it on because it's a hot manure. It has to sit at least 6 months. But rabbit manure is awesome. That's another reason why we have rabbits, so that I can just toss their poop right onto the beds and it's perfect. And guineas. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law have guineas and their manure is perfect. Go ahead and use it. But we use the black cow manure at the moment because I need a lot of it and I needed to mend my soil. Another thing you want to consider is where you're going to place your beds or your garden. Make sure it's full of sun. You can always underplant lettuce and vegetables that need a little more shade. Like with a trellis system, you can do a trellis and then underplant something that likes a little more shade or needs cooler, because you can actually grow lettuce all year round. I'm going to do it this year where I'm doing tomatoes and cucumbers, and I'm going to plant lettuces and brassicas underneath and see what happens. I'm hoping it works. I'm thinking it should, because it'll bring down the temperature just a bit. Keep in mind when you're planting, you don't want to plant just a bunch of random stuff. You want to plant stuff that you really want to eat, your family likes to eat. If you eat a lot of green beans, plant mostly green beans if that's what you're going to eat. If you don't like radishes, don't plant radishes. They are fun and they only take like 23 days to grow. Excuse me, but these guineas are going insane. They're so loud. But plant more of what you like. I love root crops because they store so well and we eat a lot of them. Potatoes are like, we eat those like with every meal. They're a great filler. They're nutritious. They have good value to our systems. I'm planting a lot of butternut squash. I think I've told you that in the past because they last forever and they taste so good. I'm not planting a bunch of green beans because we have some and we have a lot, so I don't need to grow those. Radishes, I did a little bit, already pulled them up, but I don't eat those on a regular basis, so I'm not going to make a lot of those. Carrots, however, we planted one full 4x8 bed. I realized that we eat a lot of carrots, and so next year I'm going to plant 2 full 4x8 beds because we want a lot of those. Onions, I wish I would have planted more because we just go through that so much. But yeah, plant the stuff you love, your family loves, and don't waste time on the really cutesy stuff that looks cute but you're not going to eat. That's just a waste of time and money, right? I know they have a little more room. They're going to add some more beds, utilizing what they have. So I really implore you, is that the right word? I hope you're inspired. I really think that now is the time that we really need to be growing our own food. Just to have the health of that own food, knowing what's in our food, also the uncertainty of our future and what's going on in this world right now. And the price is so hyperinflated, it's crazy. So if you can, start small, do it in buckets, do it in a dish, do whatever you can, start growing your own food so that you can get the nourishment that will provide for you without the pesticides and all the GMOs and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you're inspired, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.